Welcome to a new video here on YouTube. Welcome to our plant room tour. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So this video is almost 4 years in the making. If you have been following me on social media, I lived in the central coast of California for a while and recently moved here in the Bay Area, specifically in the heart of Silicon Valley. Anyways, I always wanted to show you my plant room, and it took 4 years almost because I was never really satisfied on how it looked. But now looking back, I guess it would have been nicer to take you guys into the process of improving the aesthetics instead of just giving you like a nice room already. Anyways, so this video would detail what was involved to transform this space into my dream planty oasis, which serves as an office space, the lounging space of my cats, and my creative space. So follow along and watch the video. So let's start with this corner. As soon as you walk in, this is what you see on your right side. Technically, it's behind the door. I do have grow lights that I installed on top of the door frames, and this is what I call my plantiserium corner. It's fairly new. It hasn't been a month even when I installed this. So how I made this, of course, we are renting, and I'm not allowed to do any damage, or at least minimize the damage that I would do. So I opted to use all these IKEA traction poles that I had on my old IKEA shelving. So I sold most of it, but I kept the traction poles. So these are really good because they have pre-drilled holes, and that means that I have holes to have my staghorns or my platycerium. So here's a close-up. So these are pre-drilled holes, and like there, you can see some of it. So I do have my Kitchakud, my SS Fung platycerium, this is my kitten, this one's Coronarium thin, and Thousand Hands, it's the hybrid on top. So I like this corner because I'm able to hang my larger platyceriums while supplying them with this grow light situation above the door frame. So I think it's really an easy setup, and this is such a neglected. I'm not going to show what's below this thing because we do have our purifier there and tons of supplies that I'm trying to conceal. And there's just an epipremnum and an additional grow light in this corner because it is technically behind the door. So I have this supplement additional light on here. And here's a wider view of this shot. I'm sorry for the unsteady hands. So we do have 3 towers of Hoyas here, Meredithii, Hoya Kirii, and Hoya obovata on top of a plant stand. And here's our automatic litter box from Casa Leo, which is so cute. It's also avocado green, perfect for aesthetics. And this first corner of our modern shelving. So this shelving system is from Modern Shelving. You could look at the bio if you like this aesthetic. It's really renter friendly, and I'm glad that I was able to collaborate with Modern Shelving in the past year. Truly, this is an answered prayer. I wasn't satisfied with the pre-fabricated, pre-assembled cabinets. Even the IKEA ones weren't good enough. This is the best shelving system that I've found, and it's modular. You could customize it. You could reach out to a designer, and now they have a new feature where you could even pre-create your shelving system in mind. That you have in mind. So we're gonna talk about the plans per panel. I'm not gonna go into details, otherwise this will be like a 2-hour video if I talk about all 200 plants that are in here. So this one just has some philodendrons in front. There's a Pearl Marks Flame, a variegated Florida Beauty. Well, actually there's 2 of them, the larger and smaller one, and then some matured Hoyas in the back. I don't know why the light is doing that. Anyways, there is more Hoyas on the second shelf. We have some trailing ones here like the Mathilde and the inner variegated Polynura and the huge Juliana. And we also have some more Hoyas on top. We have a Cordata that just bloomed again, the Globulosa, the Kaobang, and the blooming multiflora, and the Saba 7950, something like that. And we also have the Viteri folium. I swear it looks more lush when I got it, but it just suffered a lot during winter. It has been with me for 2 winters now, so it didn't really like that. Variegated Epipremnum, Gigantium, or no, Marble, and a Hoopersia over there. And next, we have some storage. There's some storage there. So all the shelving is completely modular, so if I feel like I needed to lower this shelf, I would be able to do so at any point. So recently I have been switching plants or moving plants along. Just look at this Anthurium silver blush leaf that's distracting me. That's how big it is. Anyways, this corner was my dedicated Anthurium corner. But just today, I've rearranged my old terrariums are underneath. I am even planning on bringing this shelving system closer to the floor even to give me more space, and I think it just gives it a more anchored look. And then moving on, we have my larger anthuriums were on here. There's a luxurians. This is just a regular crystallinum. This other hybrid is from Unsolicited Plant Talks. This one was from Aroid Market. So I have some pendant leaf anthuriums as well. I go through different types of plant genus phases. So, if you look into it, I have my Hoya phase, my Anthurium phase, and we have the Hoya phase again. I just like a lot of genus or types of plants. That's why I would say I have a little bit of everything. And it's all about the curation. And then on the top shelf, we have like silver Hoyas, like the Pandurata and the Polynura outer variegated, and we also have some Broguette over there. I'll try to insert some vignettes or some B-rolls of these plants in focus. Speaking of focus, if you're not following me on Instagram, I do a daily session wherein I talk about a specific plant I call as plant spotlights. So if you like that type of content, I'll try to repost a lot of that here on YouTube, but basically that's what we're doing. My Polynura, which used to be larger as well in the past, is also there. Fairly new Philodendron Charonier, or no, that's a Patriciae, is also there. And then let's proceed to this shelf. I used to have my laptop over here. However, I recently moved my entire setup on an actual desk. Instead of using this corner, it was really fun when I had my laptop. Occasionally, I would still try to work on this corner, but what I do have here are just some planters that need some more plants, so that's a great problem. I have some mushroom figurines there. That pot had variegated Hoyabella, inner variegated, but that wasn't doing well, so I had to root it again in water. This is such a stunning Platycerium ridleyi specimen that I have in this bowl situation, so I'm hopeful that it would really look great again come spring. We also have this Platycerium Celso Tatsuda. I will post an unboxing for this one that was gifted by Moss Potter. She has amazing Platyceriums, and now I am in my Platycerium era. We also have this self-watering planter with a pendant or pendulous leaf anthurium here. That is from Verdipod. Moving on, we do have our small leaf Hoyas over here. The first one is a mint coin. This is Lacunosa Moonshine, I believe. This is Hoya Panchoy, or Bilobata. I think that's Panchoy. Anyways, this is also an outer variegated Bella. We have Chinghongensis. We have Engleriana SP Vietnam. In the back, we have some anthuriums. That used to be my gigantic regal, but it's left with that one leaf. This is my oldest crystallinum that I've had since 2018, 19. And then on top, let me just move you guys. We have an anthurium pseudo spectabil. This is an anthurium coriaceum San Juan, and next to that is another anthurium as well. So I try to put all the trailing ones on the top level. That way they can trail nicely. I'll show you what I'm describing. As you can see, aesthetic wise, it would be nicer to look at things when they're trailing, so you want to put them on the outside part, like what I did here. And then the larger ones, of course, you try to play with the setup. Like, of course, I still have to consider the type of light that they get and the space that they could grow into. Speaking of light, I do have two types of light here, which are both my favorites. The cooler white ones are from Barina. It's probably at this point every other plant parent uses Barina. And also, the more established ones that I've been using since 2018 is Soltech Solutions. So this is their LED bar light, which I love because this one's warmer. So during these days where it's practically colder, darker, and more depressing, I would like a warmer kind of light around. So that's why I like to um, double down on the lighting for my plants. Not just for them, honestly, it helps me. Like the warmer light creates this cozy vibe, which I like. Also, let us proceed to the last section because we don't have all day to talk about the plants. Let me know which type of genus do you want me to show and tell. Maybe it's the Hoyas, maybe it's the Philodendrons, maybe it's a particular type of plant genus that you want. I'd love to talk about that specific collection in detail. We also have some epiphytes here. We have this Ripsalis, we have some microslarm ferns on top, this Anthurium. There's a bunch of Hoyas in the back, and I think that princess that's inside the terrarium. We also have this Tortum. This is a Pyrotia, which is a fern. I have a Platycerium. I think it's a Platycerium something. I am blacking out. I can't name it. Of course, this is a Hoya linearis that I've had for so long. It was victimized by mealies and it's doing so well again. There's this Anthurium. We have String of Hearts and cute pink lanthers here. I have some Aglaonema, some more Hoyas in the back. And yeah, Hoya, and this one is the stick succulent plant. I keep on forgetting what that is. This one's fairly new. This at the bottom is a new Solanum. It's a Solanum Ecuador from Didi's plants. We have variegated Adansonii there, some just starter plants. We have a variegated Frydek here. This is my mint monstera that needs to be cleaned. We have Burl Marks Flame here that did not like the change of season, and basically a bunch of this is a Rahab Platycerium that got frozen in transit. This one, I don't know if that's still alive, and a bunch of terrariums and propagations I have underneath. My cricket is in the back. I really need to rearrange this section. Let us now proceed to the plants that are in the windows. So first of all, I did hang these like removable films that blast a bunch of rainbows during spring up until fall time, so that's really great. So if you want to add a little zhuzh in your plant room, we've been using these films for a while and they hold up pretty well. Just very inexpensive from Amazon, and in my personal opinion, they create happy vibes. I also started hanging these disco balls so that when the afternoon sun or light comes in, they blast these fun reflections, which creates a nicer ambiance. We have these IKEA planters that I just hang on the window frame over there that houses a Hoya. Above is like a Dischidia. This is my Ophioglossum pendulum. We have this Monstera stained glass. I recently discovered that I had that. I've had that for years now. We also have Ripsalis paradoxa, and this one is also a Ripsalis. We have the Suffering Burl Marks Juve. Okay, that just came off. So I don't know, maybe there's some infestation. This one clearly doesn't like the situation over there. My ever beautiful variegated Monstera. This is fairly new. I got this from Casa Plants. We also have our variegated Nepenthes, chicken fern. We have some Aglaonema modestum, another Lisa, Australis Lisa, the Peperonia prostrata, and a variegated Rhaphidophora tetrasperma over here that doesn't have a lot of variegation anymore, so that's fun. And then let's proceed to my IKEA cabinet. So everything inside, well, the accessories or the fixtures are from Modern Aqua. Thank you, Modern Aqua, for collaborating with me. So on top, we just have a philodendron tortum, this anthurium. I forgot what type of anthurium this is. This too is still fortunately alive. We have a philodendron uh, Colombia something. I forgot. Grade something. And we have a bunch of platyceriums, anthuriums, and we have this really cool. I'm gonna show you guys. It's really cool. And this is again, I'm blacking out. Oh, Ampheria. This used to be variegated, but I mean the leaves used to be pink and variegated, but it's just not doing well. But it's blooming, so you know that the plant is still happy. And I will show you a little bit of a focus. We could do a separate IKEA greenhouse cabinet tour, and I'll show you some close-ups. Someone was really knocking at the door, and it was little Miss Monsoon Auntie. She doesn't want to be left out. So show them the plants. So yeah, we have this Ace of Spades, which is still acclimating. I don't know why it's not loving life. We have a Fallopia multiflora variegated here, variegated spiral ginger. We have a bunch of Hoya cuttings inside, and I'll show you the close-up in a while. We also have a Platycerium Monkey King, this trying to rehab this and trying to revive this stump of a Alocasia polyamazonica mint or pink from Green Punches. Okay, so now that you've seen the plants in the window, some of the plants in the IKEA cabinet, and even the ones above, we also have some plants in this corner with a Saltex Solutions light. If you recognize, I have my variegated billetier here, and another Ophioglossum pendulum, and just a bunch of monsteras and terrariums on this side, which could really use to be, could really use some organizing. Let's now proceed to my work setup. Okay, let's continue with the computer setup. I don't really work a lot here, only when I feel like it. So everything is white and shades of green as always. Let me just take a sip. So we have a laptop here, I have an adapter, a hub rather, that connects to the monitor, additional keyboard, and I found these really cute, blimey office accessories. We have a mug from Crafty Cathy Designs. We have some picture frames that I still want to put pictures of my cats in. Just some office supplies, and we have like our sound system here. Some vibey music 24/7. This moss decor I made a few years ago. We have our bio orb as well, so that's just the vibe. Before we completely get distracted, here's a wreath that I made with plushies keychains. I'm planning on changing this into something yarny beige and something, so it looks better all year round. But I don't think I mind the wreath looking foliage or leaves on it. Anyways, this is a dresser that we couldn't find a place for, so this room is meant to be a bedroom, but it became the plant room. So the dresser went here. I just covered this with peel and stick wallpaper to make it white, because this used to be a very distracting black dresser. It houses all my candle holders, vases, some actual clothes. Half of this are cat clothes, and here's a wreath that is just hanging around, and it has a bunch of plants above. And I think that was the quick plant room tour, because literally this is just I don't know what, 10 by 12 or 12 by 12 room, or even smaller. So that's practically everything that we have in this room. Let me know in the comments what specific plant genus you want me to show and tell, because I have a bunch of different genus, and we even have some plants outside in the living room as well. But that's about it. We have a shelf display in the living room, and also, well, a bunch of shelf displays. Anyways, I hope you liked that tour. It was quicker than I imagined it would be. But again, we could go into details. Just let me know in the comments. Practically, I just wanted to talk about how important it is to make a space that would make you happy. Regardless if it takes you 4 years or just 2 weeks, I enjoy the process of curating stuff, and of course elevating your setup whenever you encounter better aesthetic or whenever you gather up or get those resources. Anyways, what I love about this room is I've always dreamed of like a room that looks clean, even though it's maximalist. I have been trying to reduce my collection in the past X number of years, but I've been unsuccessful because of just the way that I am. I like a lot of different plants, and I wish I was just into one specific plant genus, but I guess it's all about the aesthetics for me. If I like the look, I would be into it. Um, Anyways, another thing is like what setup works for me might not work for you, and vice versa. So I've experienced that moving from the central coast where humidity was just its perfect condition of like 50 to 60 all year round and even higher. But here in Silicon Valley, to be specific, it's like desired by people because of its weather, but not necessarily the best when it comes to plants, especially if you're into tropical plants. Succulents, that's fine because it's always sunny and great weather, but not today. It's quite gloomy. That's why I had the energy to make this today because I can't do anything outside. And again, if you like that type of content, please subscribe or consider subscribing, like this video, and I would love to hear from you. Positive thoughts, hopefully. If you have questions, feel free to ask those on the comment section. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.